Soul Food Sundays. I think one of the most important lessons that I've learned in terms of leadership has to be inspiring or instilling hope in others at their lowest moments, at their moments of weakness, in the midst of all of their trauma and their problems, but when they feel like all hope is lost. And for you to be able to pass that lesson on as a leader, you have to go through the growth and the challenging and the changes that it takes for that growth to take place. And in the midst of all of that, it's gonna be some pain. You're gonna hurt a little bit. As a matter of fact, let me share one of those stories with you. So my son Aiden, he was about 2 years old. I think he had just made 2. And we had a 2-story townhouse at the time. And how the layout for the townhouse was is you had one set of stairs that went straight up, and at the top of that staircase, there was a split. So on one side of the house was the master bed, bath, and the laundry room and all that good stuff. And on the other side was 2 additional bedrooms and another bathroom. So that was the kids' rooms and another bathroom and whatnot. So I had just gotten home, coming home from work, and my son is upstairs in his crib. And I guess he heard the garage door, because as soon as I opened up the door, he yelled, "Daddy!" And that put a huge smile on my face, because it's somebody so excited. They want to show you so much love. They're excited that you're home. And I ran straight to the kitchen, and I was putting away my Tupperware and things from what I had for lunch for the day. And I was going in the cabinet, I closed the cabinet door for something. And when I closed the cabinet door, and boom. And April asked, she said, "What was that?" I said, "That was the cabinet door. I just closed the cabinet." She's like, "No, I heard something go boom." And as soon as she said that, we both heard my son crying. So when Aiden started crying, we looked at each other, because we noticed that the cry was getting louder and it was starting to come closer to us. So I ran to the stairs, as soon as I'm starting to go right up the stairs, I see my son coming around. Now, like I said, he just made 2. So he's never jumped out of his crib before. But as he came around the corner, I see his arm sticking out to the side. And when I saw that, instant anxiety, I'm talking gut-wrenching, gruesome, all of my nerves were quivering. It's such a panic. I was so scared that when April asked, she said, "Well, what's wrong?" I said, "His arm is bent." I said, "His arm is bent." And I grabbed him. I said, "I need to go so that we can get it straightened out." Get it? His arm is bent. I need to go get it straightened out. It's funny, yeah, we could laugh about it now, but it wasn't funny then. Because what happened is, as he jumped out of the crib, he had extended his arms in front of him to break his fall, and his arm snapped. So when I saw his arm sticking out to the side, could you imagine what we felt? So I grabbed him and I said, "I gotta get him to the hospital now. You get his insurance card, whatever, just meet me at the hospital." And she's in such a panic and losing her mind, can't think straight. She runs from one side of the stairs down to the other side of the stairs, down, back to this side of the stairs, and down again, not even knowing what she's doing or what she's looking for. But she said, "I can't drive, wait for me." So I take my son, and she's running outside, and she doesn't even have a shirt on. I said, "Get a shirt." She grabs the shirt and she goes in the back seat, and she's holding my son. and I'm driving, and I take off. I mean, I was hauling butt up the road. And we get to the hospital, and shouts to Nemours Hospital. It is a children's hospital, but what's funny is that when Aiden was being born, 6 doctors and nurses, they had all rushed to the hospital in the room at the same time and said, his heartbeat is dropping, we need to get him out now. And then he came by C-section. So at this time, 6 doctors and nurses was all rushing around him again, and one was giving him a popsicle, and one was holding a balloon, and the other was attending to him, and another was asking us questions, what happened? And everything is happening in synchrony. It was like an orchestra playing, everyone sticking to their role and playing their position, but all working together. Taking Aiden's mind off of what's going on, taking our mind off of focusing on a solution, focusing on the extinguisher rather than focusing on the fire, and they're attending to him all at the same time. I remember how broken I felt when I was driving, and he was in the backseat on top of his mom, and he said, "Mommy," and he lifted his arms up and he said, "Boo-boo," and she broke into tears. I remember how that felt. But I don't think that hurt as much as when we were in the hospital, they said, we're gonna get his arm straightened out, but it's gonna hurt you a lot more as parents than it's gonna hurt him. And they gave him a shot of ketamine. And as I know, ketamine is a horse tranquilizer. So picture him around his mother in the hospital, and they give him this shot of ketamine that instantly froze him up. I mean, he looked like he was strung out on drugs. He looked like a fiend, instantly froze like a bug, because as they picked him up off his mother and they lifted him up, he was still in the same position as they moved him over to the table. And watching your baby frozen like that, he didn't even look alive to us at that point. I know I said this is going to be the last episode of Soul Food Sundays, but who would I be if I wasn't pouring as much value into this content as humanly possible? So tune in with us next week to hear the second part of this story, the story of Unbroken. Hear just how we go from the trenches to triumph. We ask that you continue to inspire someone, impact someone, share this message with someone. And while you're at it, follow us on all of our social media channels at Inspired by Austin. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram at Inspired by Austin. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Take care.